This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you know veterans enrolled in VA healthcare can use over 4,000 urgent care locations across the country to treat non-life-threatening conditions? It's easy and free. Just show your Veteran Health ID card. Get the best care for veterans. Sign up at va.gov or visit your nearest VA medical center.
Where the hell have you been, soldier?
Training, sir! Training, sir!
What kind of training, son?
Army training, sir!
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Reveille! Drop your cocks and grab your socks. Get your bunk space, get your uniforms on. Police call will commence in 2 minutes.
You haven't seen nothing yet! Woo! Woo!
We're trying to make dreams come true.
Well, they supported us now. It's our turn to support them.
The Revel Experience. Get experience!
What makes LTD unique in the history of tactical? No CEO has ever been through what I've been through with Tierney.
Mama, I've been catching thrills, won't you please forgive me? And I've been mixing pills with some weed and whiskey. I hope I don't see some blue lights crossing more than yellow lines. Maybe one day they're gonna get me. One day they're gonna get me. One day they're gonna get me. I've been losing sleep just to chase the wrong one. And we've been doing things that we won't speak on. I ain't gonna deny it, no reason to hide it. Say what you want. They love to throw dirt on me like I'm already 6 feet deep. These voices in my
been home about 6 months now, and I still have my doubts. Well, I'm not sure how I got here or how I'm gonna get out. Well, my mama says I look the same as I did before I left. But if she could see inside of me, it would scare her to death. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Last Saturday they honored us in a small parade downtown. And when they shot off those fireworks, I nearly hit the ground. And while they smiled and cheered for us, all I could do was stare. 'Cause part of me is here at home, but part of me's back there. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. They taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Yeah, there's no end in sight. 'Cause even though I'm home now, I'm still fighting for my life. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Well, the devil's won some battles, and he may win some more. But don't he know the American soldier will always win?
Those are cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
And what is this one?
Oh, this? That's my credo. No regrets.
You have no regrets?
Dad?
Nope.
Like not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
Well, I love him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's a real winner, Casey. If I were you, I wouldn't use protection.
What the?
Hunting, fishing, loving every day. That's the prayer that a country boy prays.
You may have seen the viral footage from a synagogue in New York today. A group of Orthodox Jewish men went head-to-head with construction workers that were employed to fill in a network of underground tunnels. Secret underground tunnels. There's so much conspiracy surrounding this footage. So let's try and clear up what's actually going on. The tunnels were discovered last month at the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters. By the way, Chabad Lubavitch is an ultra-Orthodox sect of the Jewish religion.
It seems as though the ultra-Orthodox can often disagree with each other, with some even running into the tunnels to protect them. In this clip, we see a young Orthodox Jewish man climbing out of a hole in the pavement outside the building and then running away. 10 people were arrested by the New York Police Department, and the synagogue has since been closed.
There was basically a riot in the synagogue, and without explanation. The confusion around this footage has literally taken over the internet. So, here's everything we know about this story so far.
It's unclear why the tunnels were created. The website Forward claims that the tunnels were dug to expand the 770 building.
What is Chabad Lubavitch? It's an Orthodox Jewish Hasidic group that originated in Russia, and it's one of the largest Hasidic groups in the world. Hasidic Judaism is an Orthodox Jewish movement that emerged in the 18th century. The word Hasidism literally means religious ones. Hasidic Jewish men often wear white shirts and black overcoats, and they might also wear hats depending on which group they belong to. Chabad men, for instance, wear black fedora hats. Hasidic Jewish women wear modest clothing that covers their knees, collarbone and elbows. According to one estimate, there are up to 17,000 Chabad Lubavitch households across the world, making up 13% of the global Hasidic population.
Headquarters. The building was purchased by an organisation representing the Chabad Lubavitch in the 1940s and has since become a key location for the movement as a synagogue. A dispute over the ownership has been ongoing for more than 2 decades. Some believe that the late Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson is the Messiah and is still alive. Others believe that he's dead. This issue has long divided community, with the two factions battling for control of the 770 building. The headquarters were previously controlled by the faction that believed Schneerson was the Messiah. However, a violent clash in 2004 over a plaque outside the headquarters, which implied that Schneerson was dead, led to a lawsuit of the ownership over the 770.
Well, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do, which is just flip out!
Graceland of my own. Maybe, well, she'll come down there with me, but I'm taking the dog if I go. Bushwhacking through the jungle to carve out a humble slice of land. Maybe I'll finally drop the onus that I picked up out of blood so sad. Turn me back into stardust, forge me into the light, fractured into 100 billion atoms. And I'll fade back into the night. Ripple sound across my eardrums. It's moving at the speed of lonesome time. Some nights I'll dream about my mother. She visits to remind me to be kind. And I'll build an empire out of spirit. I'll pierce that gold mine deep within. And I'll feed on only air and water. Hop back in line, take the cosmic ride again. Turn me back into stardust, forge me into the light, fractured into 100 billion atoms. And I'll fade back into the night. And I'll fade back into the night. And I'll fade back into the night. And I'll fade back into the night.
Maybe now the audio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Having a little technological difficulties, and we're still in the Christmas spirit. So we thought we'd, in case you missed that last month, we thought we'd run it again.
Run it back for y'all.
Sorry for cutting it short.
There we go. There we go.
Did
Did you guys see that? That was an update. So, like, when we came back from break, you know how we see the scenes and stuff?
Yeah.
That MBR logo thing, it came in as like a scene. I didn't do that.
Oh.
That's kind of crazy. That's
pretty
kind of
cool.
weird. So dude, that's what I'm talking about with like these updates. Like they'll have these updates, and then we'll find out about like the first of the updates on our show on
air.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
Or
give you an
on
update
Friday.
the update.
So, but sorry about that, everybody. I have no idea why we wasn't having sound earlier. We're definitely having sound now.
Okay, that's good.
So,
yeah, that was weird.
I'm back at it with the sound.
All right. So do we have our? Is Nico on? Is that him over there? In the...
no, Nico is not on yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I will send him a message. While I'm sending him a message, why don't you guys tell everybody about shouting out on who's sponsoring us today, like the radio stations and
Star Radio, Basics Radio, DV Radio, Operation Good Boy, of course.
And of course, we always got to shout out for Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh yeah,
always hooking us
Jersey
up.
Mike's. Hook us up. Did you guys enjoy those Sammys the other day?
We actually didn't stay for the show. We were watching the national championship.
You mean he didn't give you? He didn't give you one on the
They wasn't even here when I got here.
Oh.
Yeah.
We had to go watch the national championship for our show on Wednesday.
Because I know them. If I told them that I was bringing in Jersey Mike's, they would be like kids and literally wait here till I brought Jersey Mike's, grab the sandwich, eat, and go. Because I know kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's
that's
that's the whole reason why I came in and you never showed up. So
I'd be crazy to turn down a free sandwich,
right?
That's just,
Good point.
Especially from Jersey Mike's. Come on.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I recently inherited
amazing.
My dad's commercial slicer, which I'm shocked because we all love that thing. So I went out and bought some cold cut, whole piece, ham and turkey and salami, oh dude, the best, man. You get these big hoagie buns and toast them and
oh yeah,
put all the cheese, slice the cheese, everything just freshly sliced, just like
making
Jersey
me
Mike's.
hungry.
Oh dude, it was incredible. I'm definitely not getting rid of that thing. I was surprised my brother called me up and said, "Hey, do you want this?" Heck yeah, I want that slicer.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of guy. I could also just
okay.
Yeah.
Like with that, like I could just sit there and eat like sandwich meat for a snack too. I'm about that. I don't know if you guys ever do that. You just see like a pack of turkey.
Well, that's
all the
ham
time.
in the fridge.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm gonna grab this while it's commercial. Go back, watch the game.
Well, that's kind of like my wife with this new health thing. That it's not new for me because I've been doing it for a long time. But she's on board. But she gets these little Tupperware containers with compartments, and she puts like sliced lunch meat and some cheese and some crackers, and then in the other one grapes and some fresh fruit, and then some nuts, some mixed nuts, and delicious, dude, delicious. You feel satiated, but you don't feel bloated or like like you're overate or anything. It's perfect, excellent.
So we just got to stall a little bit longer. I think he's with another soldier.
Hey, no problem.
Oh, gotcha. So he's doing some important
we
work.
can handle it. Yeah, he's doing God's work. Let's face it. He's a great guy. I've never met Nico, but I feel like I've known him my whole life. Because every time I call you, it's like, V, what's up? I'm a Nico Paisan. We're both Italian, so we kind of go off on that tangent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hope there's a Buddy Bowl event here in Colorado sometime soon. I would be down to go play
I've been trying to get Nico
football,
to come to some event
raise some
where
money
I'm
for
going to
charity.
be for a couple of years now. But he's such a busy guy, and he's in San Diego, so he primarily does West Coast stuff, and I even tried to get him to come to Range Road race, and fortunately, we're up north, so still quite a distance for him to travel, but I'm still working on that. Hopefully, he'll attend and be able to participate in something.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. You know, there's so many things going on around the nation with like Buddy Bowl, Challenge Athletes Foundation. I'm sure we'll get something done here in Colorado momentarily. Maybe this spring. The only bad thing about Buddy Bowl is that it's really, really good for a small town where like there's like a population of like 500 or 1,000 people. That's where Buddy Bowl's it really compels. But when you're dealing with Denver and how many markets it is, I mean, you've been doing this for what 3 months, and I'm sure every time you go and talk to somebody, you tell them, "Oh yeah, I'm an intern for MBR." Who?
Well, I mean, even when I said I was with Max Media, they were like, "Who?"
Oh,
it's like that's a like FM radio station, and people don't even know it.
Yeah.
So,
But Denver's, I think, number 18 or number 19 market. So
they're one of the bigger ones. I know they're top 20.
Yeah, it's hard. It really is.
Even people that told me that they want to be on radio, I'd be like, "Yeah, I met like Tony V and Kathy J from Flow 107.1." They're like, "Who?"
Yeah,
they lived here their whole life
And
too.
you want to be in
You're like,
radio?
okay,
And you don't know any of the current
interesting.
players in the game, really?
That is one way to go about it.
Yeah.
So, guys, we talked earlier about your picks for the playoffs. Who is your pick for the Super Bowl? Who do you think is going to be?
I think. I
Well-
don't want to speak too soon. I think the Super Bowl might be Ravens Cowboys, and I think the Ravens are going to win it.
I concur. I don't know if I'd pick the Cowboys for NFC, but I definitely think the Ravens are going to win it too. Because I mean, just the way that they've been just so commanding. I mean, just beating good teams. I mean, these aren't scrub teams. These are top teams, and they're just annihilating them. I mean, just amazing how successful they're being. I mean, it's just crazy. And you know, yeah, we all know about Lamar Jackson. He's an incredible quarterback and everything, but he's got a good arsenal, man.
Yeah,
their
they've
defensive
grown
line
so
is good.
much.
Well,
Yeah,
That team blossomed.
they did.
I'm a believer right now in the colors.
Flowers, isn't he a rookie?
Oh, Zay Flowers?
Zay
Yeah.
Flowers
he
is a
is.
rookie.
God, dude, are
He's
you
so
kidding me?
fast too.
Yeah. For my Super Bowl picks, I'm a believer in the colors theory where it's going to be the two teams whose primary color matches the colors picked on the Roman numerals for the
Oh,
Super
you're
Bowl.
right. That
Because
is
past 2 years, you go back to that Bengals Rams Super Bowl, the little logo where you have the Roman numerals. The numbers are a mix of blue and orange. And then the next year, when it's Eagles Chiefs, the numbering or the Roman numerals, the colors used on those were red and green. And this year, they're purple and red. So we're looking.
Well, you know, while he brings up the website, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of be an ambassador for Buddy Bowl since Nico's. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it. Either that or he'll just arrive a little bit late. But, you know, Buddy Bowl, just to let you know, it's a flag football for charity. And with that flag football for charity, that money that they raise, it goes to Operation Rebound, which is a military military part of Challenge Athletes Foundation. Me, V is a part of it. And the nice thing about Operation Rebound is compared to Challenge Athletes Foundation, every year you have to like submit and you get voted on or whatever. With the military, hey, if you need this, they're gonna buy it. You don't have to keep on requesting it. If that
Yeah, your application is
yeah.
good for a lifetime.
Right.
And Nico, I don't know how long he's been with CAF Challenge Athlete, but he's just an incredible guy. I remember one year I filled it out, my application, and I was trying to get a new mountain bike because mine was really old and tired, and it didn't happen that year. And then I tried other organizations the next year, and then out of the blue, like 3 years later, he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, dude, you still trying to get that mountain bike?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And he's like, "I got you." And next thing I know, man, I'm riding a nice. You guys see it? You seen that orange Santa Cruz?
Oh yeah,
that melon colored. And I mean, if it wasn't for him, and I'd been saving money all along, so he can only give me an X amount of dollars. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got that bike. And this is like mid COVID too, so it was a miracle in and of itself that I found a bike at all. So, but yeah, really good organization. I've heard story after story about people he's helped, the veterans that he's helped, the help them make dreams come true, help them facilitate purchase of equipment and gear, and just being a stand-up guy. I mean, I can't say enough about Nico and all that he does, and very available. I mean, I'll call him out of the blue, and 9 times out of 10 he answers. I mean, what organization do you have that kind of
No, and
accessibility?
all the other organizations, they have like 1-800 number.
Yeah.
Please press 1. Please press 2.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like no customer experience. It's kind of like what we were talking about in our
due to a high number of volume of calls, they're longer than normal waiting times. And I'm like, really, dude? Okay. And then you wait and wait and wait, and then next thing, if you'd like to leave a message, I'm like,
At that point, you don't want to leave a message.
Yeah. You don't want to hear what I gotta say.
Yeah, seriously.
I got nothing good to say.
Well, I've been doing Buddy Bowl since 2000. I believe 2011, 2012. I've been doing Buddy Bowl for a very long time. I can tell you that the day after you get done playing Buddy Bowl, do not plan anything. Like plan maybe a spa day, because the worst thing that I could have done, which I did, was I scheduled a Buddy Bowl before my wedding. Because my mother was really big into helping, nonprofits and stuff, and I wanted my nonprofit family to be with me during my wedding. So Nico was at my wedding, and yeah, I've done the Buddy Bowl, but see what I mean? I did the Buddy Bowl, and usually it's like $40 for a shirt and a hat. And it usually comes with Jersey Mike's, and you guys get to eat. Well, some of you get to eat Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, some don't.
V is so mad at me on that.
Man. I was like, dude, how come we don't get a dude? We're a morning show. Man, I could eat a sub all day in the morning, dude. It's a Friday, my cheat day, so I'm all over that.
Oh man,
I am all over that. I'm just saying.
But Nico tells a story how the Buddy Bowl, the whole process started long ago, and he made it a nonprofit. But basically, it was having a bunch of guys playing flag football on the beach and putting the collection out, and people just drop, whatever money that they want, donation. Hey, thanks for letting me play. Here's $5, here's $10, So that's one thing that I got from Buddy Bowl. And it really sparked up me, and it really sparked up other wounded veteran injured as well.
And that's morphed into what, an actual game that's televised, or
no? It's just a friendly game, but it's like this. We broadcasting, but the chances of Steve Harvey listening to this is pretty much probably not going to happen. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, that's how that is.
You said that you're guaranteed at least 3 games because it's 3-game elimination. So is it
right?
So when they do these events, is it kind of like a tournament style where everybody, people that want to compete, they pay to get in, and then you get to put together a team, and then like kind of everybody competes for maybe a prize or something.
Yeah,
3-game elimination style, and like all the money raised throughout this goes towards the nonprofit work, like
Right.
helping out veterans,
Yeah.
and all that. So it's like that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not just military; it's military and first responders. Because
okay.
a couple of years ago, we had the Buddy Bowl football, and it was just football. And I looked at Nico, and I'm like, I bet people wouldn't ask as many questions and be more willing to donate if they saw like little silhouettes of a firefighter, police officer, military. We was trying to get something that would look very even, simultaneously the same, but you could tell. But it just didn't work out, so we just did the next best thing, put 3 of them in there together, and then now even Buddy Bull has been doing that ever since, raising money for first responders and military. We just put a silhouette there to encourage people and let them know about the fundraiser rather than them guessing and thinking Buddy Bowl was a dog Super Bowl that they have every year.
That's Puppy Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Or wasn't there a Bud Bowl at one point? Or is that Puppy Bowl?
I think it was Bud Bowl.
It's something.
Yeah, there was a Bud Bowl.
Yeah.
But this is Buddy.
Buddy, yes.
Yes.
Not that dang golden retriever. So
Airbud.
The games are there.
Airbud, yeah. Those are great movies. Come on now. That's good family, wholesome fun.
Well, they did a football one. What was that one called?
Oh man, I do remember that though. You got
Gridiron Bud.
Something like
that. Yeah.
You laugh, but I bet those are the best movies that like they check out through Netflix. Any movie that has any like dog or animal. I mean,
those are good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for Buddy Bowl, the games, are they like 7-on-7 flag football?
Yeah, 7-on-7.
Okay.
7-on-7, and it's half of a football field.
So 50 yards.
Yeah.
We got audio back. Just confirmed from a comment.
Yeah, we got audio back.
Sweet.
Right.
You guys are doing great, man. It's hey, look, it's not your fault Biden's on this podcast. I mean, that's exactly how I feel. I really do.
Yeah,
lately.
That's exactly
It's
how
one
we
of those
feel,
long
too.
mornings. I do
Cedric,
too,
just
man.
watch out. I see him creeping up. He's like trying to sniff the hair. So just
Smell good. This was my week. I can only wash
Dude,
it
I'm
once a
gonna
week.
smell that for $5. I already know what you guys do. You guys
there.
mix that in like egg yolk and
No.
all the other stuff to do
I just
that,
have
right?
I just have like dreadlock shampoo. I don't really. Other than that, I can only wash it once a week. So sometimes it does get pretty stinky, but I try to wash it once a week. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good lather. That's why it's so frizzy, because sometimes I wash it more than once a week. Like water kind of makes them come out.
And that's your actual hair.
Yeah, they're just like braided up. It's a little crochet braid.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's
I'm thinking
awesome,
about
man.
combing them out.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day because we had
Show off.
that we have this little logo, with the hair and the hat, and I was thinking that if we could make like a picture silhouette of your hat and logo in front, you could sell that for a shirt.
That would be easy to embroider right
Yeah.
there. That'd be pretty cool.
And it can't be like a straight. It would have to be like a triangle kind. That's what I'm talking about. That would be. That'd be. I'm just thinking of things like this in the head.
Always got the gears turning.
I'm about
for
ready to
new
tell him just to mute me.
opportunities for the show. No way. This is helpful.
no, I got more Buddy Bowl questions, so we can't.
Yeah, because I'm kind of confused on it too, how it works.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to figure out too.
Kind of step us through it. Okay. So what is it? The same date every year?
So usually it's the only same day of the year if it's that state, like New Jersey when they do the Buddy Bowl. Sometimes they have like an annual thing, kind of like Buddy Bowl has an annual turkey drive to where you play football during Thanksgiving, and then when you get back from that's the only one that they do in San Diego. Okay, so then they have one in Jersey, or they might have one in Texas. Each of those may be the same date, but they change dates. But it's based on like if they're doing it annually, because what works 1 month might not work something else. So
That makes
they
sense.
do it the same thing, the next year.
Okay, so they have annual events. Do they ever just have spontaneous ones where it's like
No, they really don't. But it could totally be spontaneous. Like this, for example, if you have one guy that can go to, different organizations and present them the thing, you only have to have 8 teams to start it. Okay, out of those 8 teams, everybody's playing to win the number 1 spot, right? The
Okay.
football field you usually get donated either by like a park or a high school, because once you get the field donated, once you get the venue, that's when Nico will come out and make sure everything's aligned, and if there's any money that's made, it'll go into his hands, and just everything's Peter Patter. So once you set a date with the venue, then because you was asking about if it was spontaneous or not. So it's not really spontaneous, but once you schedule a venue and you get all the email blasts out, you've started a buddy bowl. So one person could start it.
Okay.
Interesting.
So if we get 8 teams, we could be the Colorado
that's-
Connect for Buddy Bowl
We
games.
should put that on the list.
Because I know some really good parks here
that's
that
how
are
many
big
teams
enough for that.
they do for everyone is 8?
Yeah, and you know what really ticked me off is I don't remember the park's name, so I won't get in trouble there. But there's a certain park that we have this flag football tournament going, okay? And it was really a great tournament. And I was trying to get them to do the whole Buddy Bowl thing, okay? They did not want to rent us at all. They kept going like higher numbers, and I'm like, hey, we got this person. They're like, nope, can't do it. They can't do it. And literally, like we played Buddy Bowl that day, but that field that they said they couldn't do it, there was nobody there. So it's one of those things, do I say something or do I just keep my mouth shut because like nobody was there? I know with a high school reunion or even a family reunion, you can get away with doing stuff in that plot of land, but parks, they don't really like doing that. So your best bet is to get like high school, private schools to donate their field. But other than that, once you get the venue, it's pretty much golden.
Okay.
So what? If you were to use a park, you have to have a park permit, or
Probably like from the city, right?
Yeah, the city charges, and that's what I mean is it was blowing my mind that they're sitting here charging me when they don't even have anything going on.
Yeah, it's an empty park. It's like
Yeah.
people taking walks.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really take away from it being a public space
No,
either.
it
'cause,
doesn't.
like it's just one area.
right?
Who needs them?
Yeah, who needs parks?
Who needs
At least the high schools or these other schools, they got an
Who did-
actual field that's like with numbers and everything on it. A little easier to.
Who needs parks
keep
when
track.
you have meta in the future?
Right? We're just gonna have the
We're just gonna
metaverse
meta.
buddy bowl. Everyone's gonna be in VR.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I would absolutely destroy my living room if I'm playing VR football. I'll have to like if I got a VR football game, I'm gonna have to be like in a padded room with a TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna
'cause
just run into the wall. Something.
Stuff is gonna get broken. I'm gonna hurt myself if there are hard surfaces.
There's gonna be some heartbreak.
You know,
I
I don't care if it's VR. You got to give 110%. Put it all on the line. Sacrifice the virtual body.
That's right.
There's like your VR quarterback, and it's actually looks so difficult.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that. So makes you have a little bit of a understanding for NFL quarterbacks. You're like, wow, that's
Yeah, it's a lot harder
that's
than
tough.
it looks. Seeing over people.
So,
Yeah.
H, what other personal experiences do you have with CAF, Challenge Athlete, as far as like things they've done for you?
Oh, so I have a great story on this. So, come to San Diego, and I go to this the surfboard the had like a surfboard education thing on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Is that Amp Surf?
I think so.
Yeah, I did that one
That's
year.
pretty cool too.
So
That's another great organization.
So I decided, and I just blame it on my TBI, but I had decided to go in there and I wanted to wear my glasses. I didn't know anything about this thing called Chubbs, where it's like floating glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I went and did my thing, and then I lost my glasses, and I will tell you from a personal experience that this man that you're about to listen to, we hope listen to, Nico, he's very patient. He's very patient because I lost a pair of glasses, and like I could not, I'm like, oh no. He's like, look, we'll find him. He knew that we wasn't gonna find him. We sat out there for like an hour, maybe 2 hours. We didn't find him. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll give you some gators, and it turned out to be a great, blessing in disguise, because those gator glasses were top notch. But I will tell you, Nico's he's very patient, and he is an amazing human. I just wanted to let you guys know that, because
Yes,
he's
Here.
not here. Oh shoot!
Do we have any? Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
actually.
we
got a
have
video
the
too.
Operation Rebound commercial that we'll go ahead and play, and then I'm going to try to get him on the phone.
Sir.
Today, the community came together for the annual Buddy Bowl charity flag football tournament at Camp Pendleton. The event has raised money for members of our military and their families since 1999.
It's a football game with a very different goal, aimed at giving back to injured troops and first responders.
Last year was my first Buddy Bowl, so this is my second year, and last year was amazing.
It wasn't long ago that retired U.S. Marine Eric McElvaney became involved in the charity event. Back in December of 2011, he was serving in Afghanistan as an advisor to the Afghan Army in Helmand Province on a dismounted patrol when he stepped on an IED.
And it exploded. It led to the amputation of my right leg below the knee, and started my next journey.
McElvaney set some serious goals for himself, including competing in the Ironman triathlon.
I was able to do a handful of triathlons, a marathon, and I did the Ironman in Kona, Hawaii.
What a great cause this is. The money goes to Operation Rebound, which is wounded warriors and their children whose parents come back not able to help them with college.
The Buddy Bowl McElvaney played in Saturday began back in 1977 as a fun way to reunite friends around the holidays. In 1999, though, it was turned into a charity event when 6 Marines and Navy corpsmen died in a helicopter crash off the Pacific coast.
We passed a can around to raise $550 for the families, and now it's
I believe we have Nico on the air with us now for the Revel experience. Are you able to hear us, Nico?
I can hear you loud and clear. I think I
Awesome.
was still on Australia time.
That's all right.
We were just
That's
looking
all right.
at your pretty face. We had a news clip on Buddy Bowl, and man, what a handsome guy. It's nice to put a face to the name.
I say it was a pretty face. It was probably a pretty long time ago.
All right, Nico, it's good to hear. This is V Squared. We got H Train here, Joel.
Yeah, I was trying to explain Buddy Bowl, but I'm having some brain issues. So I tried to explain it the best that I could, Nico. But I think everybody would rather hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. First give us a little background on yourself, and then how you got involved with Challenge Athlete and the Buddy Bowl and the whole nine. Just turn it over to you.
Well, sure. Well, first, it's a pleasure to be back on MBR. And I know you reach a lot of veterans, and you're here to help a lot of veterans. And that's what we're trying to do through Buddy Bowl and Challenge Athletes Foundation Operation Rebound program as well. So the Buddy Bowl is a charity flag football tournament, but it didn't start that way. It started as a group of high school graduates who went away to college. It was 1977 from Point Loma High School here in San Diego. They came back at Christmas time, and they said, let's have a reunion. And I said, well, what do we want to do? I said, well, we all love football. We're all football players. Let's play football. So the night before the tournament, they partied, they picked teams, and they played tackle football all day. And they did this for 20 years. And over the course of time, they went from tackle football to touch the flag, and they started inviting little brothers and friends of little brothers. So I started playing in the early 90s. And then after 20 years of Buddy Bowl, they thought, well, people have moved away. We're only down to 2 teams. This is the last hurrah. So in 1996, they had the 20th Buddy Bowl, and I was there. And we went out for pizza afterwards, and we thought that was it. But I thought it was a really cool thing they had going on. So I was in the Marine Corps at that time, and I'd gotten back from a deployment the following year in 1997, and I got a bunch of Marines together, and we played a Buddy Bowl. And I continued that tradition. And a couple years later, in 1999, unfortunately, we had a helicopter crash a month before the Buddy Bowl was scheduled that year, and it killed 6 Marines and a Navy corpsman, 4 of whom were from my unit. So I passed a can around, and we raised $550 for the widows and orphans of that tragedy. And I think that was on your piece that you just played on the podcast.
Yes.
So I said, from now on, it's football for charity. And the tournament kept growing. And then eventually I got married. I had a baby on the way. And the tournament went from like 8 teams to 12 teams to 26 teams. I said, I don't know everybody anymore. I got to protect myself here and my family. So we incorporated as a 501c3 in 2003. And the easiest way to do that was to establish the charity as a charity that gave money away to other charities. So we did that. And once that happened, one of the original Buddy Bowlers approached me, who was a fundraiser for the Challenge Athletes Foundation. And he said, hey, would you raise money for the Challenge Athletes Foundation? And I said, I would if I could establish a fund there for injured vets and first responders and their disabled children. So we established the Buddy Bowl Fund, and that kind of morphed into Operation Rebound. And so I unwittingly created a job for myself 5 years before I got out of the Marine Corps. Now, the Operation Revel program supports veterans of all eras and first responders, police, fire, paramedics. The kids now get funded through the annual grant program. So at the time that we established the Buddy Bowl Fund, not all the military kids were necessarily getting funded. So that's why we established that, but now they are. So the Operation Revel program is focused on those who have served. And that's the story.
That is an incredible story. And it's crazy that you said that you just kind of unwittingly created a job for yourself because you saw something that you were participating in, you believed in it. And, most people, because we're putting you in for sainthood, my friend, because we
I think there's already a Saint Nick.
Yeah, well, Saint Nico then. But we most people would like, go, participate and hang out. This is a great cause, and this is great fun, and let's eat some pizza and go home. You didn't do that, dude. You said, hey man, this is something great. It looks like it's coming to, it's run its course. I'm not gonna let it die. So that speaks volumes to the type of person you are, dude, because that's what it takes. It takes people that are willing to take chances, people that are willing to take risks, people that are willing to think outside the box and not take no for an answer. And that's what you did. So my hat's off to you. All the things that you do to help other people, you're tireless, dude. You're tireless. I mean, we were talking earlier. You're like one of the only organizations that 9 times out of 10 I call and you answer. I mean, where do you get that kind of service?
Well, I mean, I'm the only one who has the phone,
Nico told me a long time ago that no matter what, he promised that when you call CAFU or when you call Operation Rebound, that you will always be handed to somebody directly. You'll never have to press buttons or anything like that. So, usually Nico's a man of his word.
Yeah, well, I hate to say it. As a Marine, I'm an army of one.
Right? I know.
But I do get a lot of support from the organization. And we support, right now, for example, I'm reviewing a lot of annual grants from a lot of kids from across the country, people around the globe who need a lot of support, whether it's a running prosthetic or a hand cycle, a racing chair, archery equipment. And Operation Rebound runs along the same lines, except it's a year-round program. So we're very responsive, or at least we try to be very responsive to the needs of our veterans and first responders. So a veteran or a first responder will apply one time in their lifetime, and then it's a phone call or an email or a text to me. And that way we really get to know each other. So for example, Joel wanted to get a set of skis, and this is back in 2008 or 9, I think it was.
Yeah,
so we got him a set of skis. And he applied once, and the relationship obviously didn't end there, right? It was after that, there were phone calls, there were emails, there was Joel's big backyard barbecue bash.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have to bring that up, Nico.
Well, that was how we met, right? And you're
Yeah.
following your passion. And when you follow your passion, it's not a straight line necessarily. You're gonna have ups and downs and curves.
And detours and roadblocks and
boxes, yeah. And you get it figured out. And that's what it's all about. It's about being resilient, being dedicated, being committed. And that's what made this country great. It was a big risk for people to come over here and start a new life in a place, that was wilderness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have the infrastructure that they left behind. Then eventually to say, we're going to start a country. So we, as Americans, have it in us, in our DNA, to strive for something different, to strive to make things better.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's what it's all about. When you follow your passion, and you use it not for selfish purposes, but for selfless purposes to help others, that's when you really have impact.
Yeah. And that's what, if you have that attitude, if you have that mindset, great things are going to happen, not only for everyone around you and the people that you're trying to help, but for yourself as well. It does. People don't realize that, but it does. And, it's just funny that you said, because I'm reading a book on George Washington right now, and I love documentaries. I love, nonfiction stuff. And, our history is just rife with examples of that very thing, of insurmountable odds, unbelievable success stories out of despair and depression, and we've overcome. I mean, not every single time, but majority of the times we overcome and we succeed. So you're right, it is in our DNA.
Yeah, and that's what makes this country great. And yes, of course we have faults, but we're striving to get better.
Mm-hmm.
We are striving to make a more perfect union. And if each one of us keeps that in mind and does things for the greater good, then we're eventually going to reach that.
Excellent.
That ideal.
Excellent. It's very good. So tell us more about where you're located at, your headquarters. I think you're out of San Diego, yes?
Yeah, I work pretty much from my couch most of the time. Right now.
In your boxers?
Image erased.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're in San Diego, California. So Buddy Bowl's run out of our house here. And Joel's been to Buddy Bowl Central. It's a nice upper level, 1-story condo. But our Challenge Athletes Foundation is located in Mira Mesa, which is near the Marine Corps Air Station in Miramar here in San Diego. And we have a facility there where people can come in, they can work out, they can play wheelchair basketball or just regular basketball, whatever. We have a lot of events there. We've partnered with the Department of Veterans Affairs here, the Jennifer Marino VA hospital in San Diego, where they'll come over and use our equipment to do assessments for veterans who want to get, say, a hand cycle or recumbent bike. We also have a program where we sponsor clinics based on experiential therapy, where our sports augments the clinical interventions of the VA. So it's a force multiplier. So it's not just sports for sports sake. For example, we have a surf clinic every Wednesday here in San Diego. Joel's participated before. And the VA is doing what's called heart rate variability, where they're measuring, how smooth is your heart rate, right? Let's get you in a situation where you're calm and you can work through things and you can respond to things, vice react. And we're using surfing to help with that process. And we're seeing really good health results from that. And we're trying to spread this model throughout the VA system. So we're working with a lot of VAs across the country. In addition to that, we have our individual grants that we do throughout the year. So if a veteran needs a bicycle or an air rifle or a set of skis or needs to go to an event or a gym membership, they can apply anytime during the year. Or if they already have a grant on file, they can just give me a call and say, hey, I need this. And then we'll talk about what their goals are, and then we'll provide the funding so they can reach those goals.
That's awesome. Awesome. And Nico, is that surfing clinic? Is that in conjunction with AmpSurf? Or have you?
No, AmpSurf's a separate organization, but we do support a lot of veterans who participate with AmpSurf. Matter of fact, Dana Cummings is one of our athletes who we've supported in the past.
Yeah, Dana's awesome.
This surf clinic belongs to the Department of Veterans Affairs, but we do it in partnership with them. And the nice thing about it, we also bring in our civilian challenge athletes. So we have the veterans on a public beach integrated with our other athletes. And so everybody starts feeling part of a larger community and helps the vets integrate back into the community at large.
Awesome. That's so awesome. Very powerful stuff. And then how did you like tell us a little bit about your military background and when you got out and
Sure.
and stuff like that.
So just like Joel, when he was young, I aspired to be a Marine.
And then they told him 3 doors down, sir.
But, well, I went to college. I went to UC Davis. I graduated. I was trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I went to France and played American football for a club team, which was great. So I tell people, yeah, I played pro football. I got paid $500 a month, airfare, and a place to live for 6 months. But I came home and I was like, all right, I've always wanted to be in the Marine Corps. So I went down to the officer selection office and they sent me off to officer candidate school in January of 1994. Now, all I'd known about the Marine Corps at that time was, they fought in tropical areas on beaches and stuff, World War II. I didn't know a lot about Korea and Incheon and the bitter cold weather that they faced there. But when I got to Quantico that winter, it was the coldest winter in 200 years. And here I am, a kid from San Diego going, what the heck did I just get into?
Right.
So I became an infantry officer, and I got stationed back out here at 2nd Battalion 1st Marines as a platoon commander at a weapons platoon, an 81 millimeter mortar platoon. Then I got augmented as an intel officer. I did a couple deployments to Iraq. And after my second deployment, I came back a lot different than when I left. And I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. And I knew that I had to focus on getting better. So I got out of the Marine Corps. And at that time, I'd been supporting Challenge Athletes Foundation for a few years prior to that. And they hired me on. They were looking for somebody to run their program. So they hired me on to run the Operation Rebound program. And so here I am almost 16 years later. It's actually the steadiest job I've ever had.
Awesome.
I to be working this long consistently in one place.
Right.
Yeah, don't tell him.
Yeah, don't tell him. don't tell him that he's satisfied and he's happy with his job.
That's it.
So the question I was going to ask, and one of the reasons why I gave V a couple of like question notes. He has no idea where I'm going with this, so we're gonna.
Well, I can start bringing up buddybull.org website.
Yeah, so you could bring up that website, Caveman. But on the other portion, qualifications, the criteria for Buddy Bowl. It's not the same criteria for Buddy Bowl as it is the criteria for Operation Rebound. With
Anybody can play in Buddy Bowl.
Right,
You know,
right.
we're part of the wellness program, for example, at Annapolis High School in Maryland.
That's crazy.
So we play down there once a year. We get the kids out. And really what Buddy Bowl is all about is bringing people together in a substance-free athletic environment for a worthy cause. And our focus is raising money for military, law enforcement, and children's related charities. And I'll bring out veterans and first responders to Buddy Bowls, and they'll say a few words to the kids. And they'll understand that, hey, they're using sport for a higher cause, for a worthy cause, for more than just sport for sport's sake. And a lot of people, they all have a great. We have different divisions. Matter of fact, we've had a wheelchair division. Remember that, Joel? We had a wheelchair division there in Indiana when we played at Kokomo High School.
Yep. Yeah, because it was really important for this one. I forget his name. I'm having brain problems today, but it was a friend of mine in high school. It was her son, and her son told me that all he wanted to do was, he dreamed about playing. So I called up, and the name escapes my mind once again. I'm sorry, but I called up a nonprofit, and they kind of partnered with Operation Rebound, and we got some guys out there. We got
the wheelchairs out there.
Yeah.
Too.
So we make things happen if we really try hard, because I was real tickled about that we was able to get something going so that he'd get a taste of what it was like.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about the diversity in Buddy Bowl. I mean, my service dog laid a block for a first down when we were out there playing in Kokomo. It was pretty funny. So Tally, rest her soul now, she was a good girl. She passed 4 years ago, but she was on the sidelines and she sees Dad out there running with the football, and she ran out there to be with me. Ended up blocking somebody, so I got a few extra yards.
Awesome.
So Buddy Bowl's open to everybody.
Yeah, literally.
Love that.
I got some other blockers, so there's some furry friends I can bring along. So my dogs would definitely do that.
Well, so that statement, it was kind of opening up now with Operation Rebound that Nico does with Challenge Athletes Foundation. So there's a gentleman that I'm friends with, and he would like to, be he wants to be in the Paralympics, and he waits until Breckenridge for them to classify him. Is there any way that you can get classified before that Challenge Athletes Foundation has any knowledge of it, or do you have to go to Breckenridge to get qualified? Because you have to have a Paralympic qualification to be able to participate in Operation Rebound. Am I correct, or am I wrong?
So we use Paralympic guidelines. So all we look for is a permanent physical disability that adversely affects mobility. So you don't have to have a formal classification to be part of Operation Rebound. I just look at the medical record. I mean, if you're an amputee, you're in. If you have a severe traumatic brain injury, where you have balance issues, and it's annotated in your medical record, we're here to support you. Now, to get classified, you do have to go generally to a sanctioned event where they have classifiers. And that's totally separate. That's a Paralympic deal. But you don't have to be a Paralympian or be classified to get support from CAF. We just look at classifiable injuries as part of our demographic. Does that make sense?
That makes
It
sense.
does. Thank you very much. I don't. When I hear the interviews, I don't get to hear a lot of that part. That's the reason why I kind of ask you that every time that I talk to you, Nico. I know
Sure.
the answer. I know that there's some people that they don't really know the answer.
Well, and this was a catalyst for our clinics, right? So I got a call one day from a veteran in Atlanta, and he wanted to go to the Golden Age Games. And as you know, or may not know, the Golden Age Games is the only VA games that does not require that you have an injury. All you have to be is 55. So I might go, I just turned 55. Gosh, I go tear it up. Maybe I could go wrestle or something.
I'm a few years older than you, Nico, so I have never been either, and I'm just waiting for a good venue, but maybe we can go together.
There you go. We're 55. We get discounts at Denny's and we go to the Golden Age Games.
Yeah, we can ask for the senior menu.
Sweet.
Exactly.
I'm going to lunch with you guys.
I talked to him. I said, you don't fall into our giving demographic. However, what is it that you want to do? What do you? He's all, I lead the bocce program here at Atlanta VA, and I've got all these vets that I take out to do bocce. Well, what do you need for that program? He said, I can use bocce balls and some painter tape. So when we go out in the community, I can mark off the court. I said, you got it. So now we're supporting 35 veterans, half of whom were already athletes in our program, to go out and play bocce, and we can support that veteran as well. Go play bocce at a very nominal cost. So that's how we kind of expanded our demographic. And then we started working more with the VAs, and we're working towards implementing this experiential therapy across the VA system, where we're using the sport to enhance the medical intervention. So long term, our veterans become healthier.
Nico, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. That's the
We could talk to you all day.
That's the air horn for, hey, it's tribute to the troops time.
Yes.
So, Nico, thank you so much for being on, and this will lead us right into tribute to the troops.
Hoorah,
Thank you, sir.
I don't know how to tell this story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell the American people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Friends and family, thank you for tuning in today as MBR pays tribute to Sergeant Cameron Meddock, 26th of Spearman, Texas, who died on January 17, 2019, after sustaining injuries from small arms fire in Afghanistan. Meddock was an Army Ranger serving with Company A, 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, based at Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. This was his second deployment in support of NATO's Resolute Support Mission in Afghanistan. Meddock enlisted in the Army in November 2014. He also completed one-station unit training as an infantryman, the Basic Airborne Course in Ranger Assessment and Selection at Fort Benning, Georgia. On behalf of us here at MBR, we want to say thank you, Sergeant Cameron Meddock, for your service and dedication to this country. Our thoughts and prayers are with your friends and family.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Front line, Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line. Hey. Hey.
All right, and we are back.
Welcome
and-
back, ladies and gentlemen. We kind of lost track of time. We got like 3 minutes.
Yeah, V, what did you learn today?
I learned today that there's so many great programs out there, in my opinion, highly unutilized. Nico's one of those examples of a great organization to get involved with and to make dreams come true. And that's what we do around here. We try to make dreams come true. Like I talked about earlier, we're all things veterans. We advocate, educate, liberate, communicate, congregate, fascinate, so we can proliferate.
Wow.
That's deep.
That's a tongue twister. Okay,
Right.
go. You...
Mercury?
Well, what I learned today is there are, like he said, a lot of great programs, and you can do it. You can help veterans by going out and doing something fun, like playing in the flag football tournament. Just a quick buy-in, and all that money goes to a great cause of helping an injured vet, helping them get some equipment they might need, or helping them get a gym membership, whatever it might be. And so, I mean, it's, there's, go to their website, try to find an event near you, sign up, because it's just a win-win. You get to go out, have a great time playing some football with some friends.
Support a great cause.
And you're supporting a great cause.
Yeah. I'd
Okay,
say
man.
the same thing. Just learned a lot about Buddy Bowl.
I
That
know.
sounds like fun.
It does sound like fun.
It is.
We're,
It is a lot
and
of
we're
fun.
going to get Denver chapter started.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. I'll help you with that.
All right.
Hell, we got
Hey.
a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, All right. Well,
we're me and Caveman. We're there. We'll
play
have-
my theme
Yeah.
music.
My older brother,
Play my theme
my older
music.
brother's on a football league, so
Play
I
my
think I
theme
got
music.
teams. I got teams.
All right, we're out of here, everybody. Because once again, we are here for you, not for us. Okay, this is what you guys are supposed to do. We're not for you. We're not here for us. We're here for you, giving our veterans a voice.
Yes. See you next time, folks.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support